time. And if you are not paying attention to what is happening right now, one day you may wake up asking yourself how we arrived at a completely different world without anyone clearly explaining it to you. We are talking about a decision that the United States had been watching with concern for decades, a move that strategists in Washington had anticipated for years, and China finally carried it out. It sold U.S. Treasury bonds in very large amounts. Now, I know that for many of you this may sound like boring financial language, like something that only matters to bankers on Wall Street or officials at the Treasury Department. But let me be absolutely clear with you. What just happened is far more important than any recent election, any political speech, or any newspaper headline you have seen in recent months. This is a major shift in the foundations of global economic power, and its effects are going to influence your life, your job, your savings, and your future, whether you choose to follow it or not. Let me explain exactly what this means and why you should pay close attention. For more than 50 years, since Richard Nixon ended the gold standard in 1971, the United States has operated under a system that I and many other critical economists have called the exorbitant privilege of the dollar. This is not a balanced system, and it is not a system based purely on merit. It is a system built on a very large structural advantage that allows the United States to live far beyond its means, while much of the rest of the world carries a significant part of the cost. This is how it works. The United States prints dollars. Those dollars are accepted globally as the world's reserve currency, which means all countries need dollars to trade with each other, to buy oil, to build reserves, and to protect themselves during crises. And because the world needs dollars, the United States can issue this currency without facing immediate and obvious consequences. It is like having a money printer in your basement while all your neighbors agree to accept that money as valid payment. No matter how much you print, no matter how careless you are with your personal finances, you can always create more money, and someone will accept it because everyone depends on that system. Now imagine that one day your biggest neighbor, the one with the most successful business in the area, the one who has been accepting your printed money for decades, suddenly says, "You know what? I do not want your money anymore. I am going to use something else. I will use gold. I will use my own currency. I will trade directly with other neighbors without going through you." That is essentially what China has just done, and the implications are truly enormous. But to really understand why this matters so much, we need to go deeper into how this system works and why it is not sustainable over time. I have spent decades studying capitalism, its crises, and its internal contradictions, and I can tell you that the current system of the dollar as the world's reserve currency is one of the largest economic distortions in modern history. It allows the United States, a country that represents less than 5% of the world's population, to consume close to 25% of the planet's resources. How is this possible? Because the United States can finance massive trade deficits year after year, decade after decade, simply by issuing more dollars or selling more dollar-denominated debt that other countries buy. Think about it this way. If you and